What's good, my people? How's everything? The title of this video is Rights Not Restored. I'll say that again. The title of this video is Rights Not Restored. Okay. So there's a picture of a young man Hey, what's up? There's a picture of a young man that's floating around on Facebook that my cousin Ricky put up. See if I can get to his picture. Bear with me for a second. Be with you in a minute. All right. Come on. Internet is surely slow. I can't stand the slow behind internet. Anyways, there's a picture that that is floating around on the Facebook. I think I uploaded it, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all, please bear with me. Let me see. I think I reposted it. Yeah, there it is. All right. This young man right here. Okay. That young man right there. Okay. That young man right there was protecting his son from two people who was trying to take his son. He shot both of them, killing one and wounding the other one. Well, when the police got to wherever the hell that they went to pick up the suspect or whatever, they charged the suspect with attempted kidnapping, and felony murder. The reason why that they charged the second suspect with felony murder It was because he is the one that caused the death of his compadre. Period. It's just like if a police officer is chasing somebody or what have you, and an accident happened and that police officer end up dead. Whenever they get you, they're going to charge you with murder, even though you were nowhere around as far as the police officer when he unfortunately met his demise. Okay. All right. I have no problem with that. Okay. I have no problem with that because the police officer death came as a result of chasing you. Okay. So I have no problem with somebody committing a crime against somebody and their compadre end up dead and the police end up charging the compadre with murder. Have no problem with that. Here's my problem. The dad that shot the two suspects, is now being charged with possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Something happened way in his past where he contracted, if you will, a felony on his record. Okay? That was yesteryear. Okay? That was yesteryear for him. Somebody, or shall I say somebodies were getting ready to kidnap his son. Okay? There were two of them. And he shot them both. Okay? I believe I read where his son was sleeping and these two men approached to take his child for some unknown reason. Okay? And he shot him. Okay? That's sad. That he was charged with possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Why do I say that's sad? Because, and I don't understand this terminology of you have paid your debt to society. I don't understand that terminology. Okay? I don't understand that terminology. But if I have paid my debt to society, like this man did, okay? If I have paid my debt to society, then what gives society to the right to keep involving themselves in my life? It's just like if I go get a car and it's financed, I'm just saying 5 to 6, 7 years. I don't know how long you're going to finance your stuff. 5 to 6, 7 years, whatever. Some people probably want to go longer than that. I don't know. Once that car is paid off, the dealership has no right to come into your yard and say, well, I think I'll take the car back from you because you didn't pay for them old tires. You didn't pay for the windshield wipers. You didn't pay for that little bit of gas that I put in there when you first got the key car. No, you're going to get your shit split open if you do that shit to me. Okay? It is what it is. So if they don't have the right to come up in your yard and take this away from you, why do convicted felons keep getting their rights taken away from them? If they have paid so much. That makes no sense. And it's only people that have never been on the other side of the law that will not understand what I'm talking about. So I ain't talking to you out-of-brain ass people. I'm talking to the ones who done been through something. First of all, here's the dumb part. The stupid ass laws that is made is just that, stupid ass laws. A convicted felon cannot get into real estate because he's a convicted felon. But a convicted felon, if that's in his mind to do it, in his heart to do, if that's what he wants to do, he gonna do it without even having to go through an agent. I've seen it done. If that's what you really want to get into, you can go buy up some houses, renovate these houses out, do whatever you need to do to dress them up, whatever, and sell them back to other people. You just became a realtor. Period. You just became a realtor, but society say you can't be no realtor because you a convicted felon. Do you know that there are some convicted felons out there, society? There are some convicted felons out there that has never committed a violent crime. They probably got caught with weed or crack, whatever, in some type of drug paraphernalia in their possession, paid their debt to society, and still can't own a firearm. But they don't even have a violent history. This is our great America. Only in America. What happened to the Wild West days when these guys paid their debt to society? They get out of jail. These people had them back there, 6-shooters. What happened to those days? But society says you paid your debt. This is what society say. You paid your debt. Your slate is clean. You a damn lie. Convicted felons, believe it or not, has it harder and worse, in my opinion, than some homeless people. Because that homeless person on the street that may not have a felon, that may not possess a felony on his record, can clean himself up and go get a great job. Well, that convicted felon can't even do that. But then we say, you don't want to work. There are convicted felons out there right now who wants to go to work. See, this is why the prison doors are always doing this. Period. That's why they're doing that. Because once a man get out and he see, I can't move here, I can't go over there, I can't go over here, I can't go over there, can't go over here, can't go over there, I can't move over here, can't do this over here. So what's left? What's left? America the Great is always keeping his foot on somebody's neck. Let me tell you something. You got more convicted felons in the police departments. You got more convicted felons in the sheriff offices. You got more convicted felons that masquerade as firefighters. You got more convicted felons that masquerade as lawyers. You got more convicted felons that's masquerading as a judge. You got more convicted felons that's masquerading as federal law enforcement. You got more convicted felons that is masquerading themselves as GBI, KGB, ATF, and the CIA. You got more convicted felons that sit in a black, white, Mexican turn-up ass in the White House. Why don't they start paying their debt to us? So, society is lying to these convicted felons when they tell them your debt has been paid to society. No, it hasn't. Because if your debt was paid and your slate is clean, why do you still hang that shit over my head? Why do you still do that? Why do you still take a convicted felon and still tell him you can't do this, you can't possess that, you can't go over here, you can't do that? So guess what? Obviously my debt ain't paid. Only the great state of America, only the great state of America is doing this. There's a reason for that. Period. You'll tell a man when he get out of prison is clean. You can go on and live your life. How can he? How can that man live his life when every door is closed in his face? Every time I turn around, there's a door closed. There's a door closed. There's a door closed. There's a door closed. How is this possible? How is this possible? Like I said, you people that has never been on the wrong side of the law will not understand what I'm talking about. Period. There are many of men and women that get out of prison and God knows they want to fly straight. The only time that a convicted felon debt is paid to society is when he's dead and gone. Then he don't have to come back here, or she don't have to come back here and listen to this bullshit ass society telling you your debt is paid, but got their fingers crossed under the table talking about, no, I don't think so. Period. There have been convicted felons' lives that has been ruined, can't do this, can't do that, and they take their own lives. Because why? What? They can't do nothing. That young man protected his son. Why is he sitting in jail? But this is the great state of America. The land that I love. Sad. Sad. The man, did he have a gun? Yes, he did. Was it illegal? Yes, it was, according to man's law. Period. Jesus was a convicted felon.
Kill it.
Period. So Jesus know what I'm talking about. And he committed no crimes. But Jesus went to prison. Period. They locked Jesus up.
Jesus, Paul, Peter.
Mostly all of his disciples, all of his disciples / apostles were convicted felons. Period. This is why I'm so glad that when Jesus says your slate with me is clean, that means he ain't dangling nothing over your head, telling you where you can't go, where you can't, what you can't do, blah, blah, blah. I feel like that once a man or a woman get out of prison, this is how I feel. Once a man or a woman get out of prison, I feel like that within 7 to 8 years of them being out, they have all their rights restored back to them. You see, here's the problem. The reason why it is impossible for a convicted felon to do anything because man got his foot on his neck. Man got their foot on that man's neck. I'm talking about the felons that want to fly right. See, that law can be changed, and I'm going to tell you how I know it can be changed. Because a child can be charged with a a child can be charged with a felony. And after, I believe, 15 years old, I believe that's 15 to 16 years old, his slate is clean. Who says his slate is clean? Why doesn't it appear anymore? So you telling me you can't do this for a grown-ass man or a grown-ass woman? You can't do that? After so many years being out of prison, you can't say, okay, you done paid your debt, this and that, and the third, we watched you, this and that, and you ain't been in no trouble, blah, 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 blah. See, the governors should be handing out more pardons than when they wiping their own asses. Period. But that's society for you. You went to prison, you paid your debt. When you get out of prison, they come handing you these funky ass brown pants, this funky ass white shirt, this funky ass blue coat, look like the same blue coat that you was wearing when you was on the inside, only don't have state prison on it. These funky ass Chuck Taylors, and probably if you fortunate enough, $200. Depends on what prison you at. And they tell you to use that to build your life back again.
What am I supposed to do with that?
The fuck I'm supposed to do with that? What the fuck they supposed to do with that, assholes? What are they supposed to do with that? They go to these jobs so afraid, sit up in there, dressing the best that they can, nervous as I don't know what. I really do need this job. The man come out. I don't care if you put it on that application. Have you ever been convicted of a felony? Yes, and then you are right with an explanation. They don't want to hear that. Once you have said yes, they already made up their mind about you, and they ain't even sat on their monkey ass and found out what happened. See, this is the great state of America with they judgmental dumbasses. This is the great state of America. That's why when people talk about that Confederate flag, I can give two shits about that. There have been more crimes committed against America with people waving this flag around. There have been more crimes that has been committed against Americans by people waving this flag around. So what the hell do I care about the Confederate flag? What do I care about that? This flag right here gives judges, lawyers, doctors, police officers, presidents, congressmen, governors, whatever. This flag gives them the right to commit a felony right there in front of your face, but will lock your ass up for doing it. Will lock your ass up for doing it. But this flag right here gives me the right. Take down the Confederate flag. Y'all should take down this one too. You should take down this one too. Period. If you're gonna start with a flag, start with the American flag. No, they don't want to hear it. This flag gives these elites the privilege to keep their foot on a person's neck. Well, we did give y'all the right to vote again. Man, damn them old funky ass votes. Y'all funky ass gonna put whoever you want to put in the damn White House. Y'all the only one running. Some of y'all don't want to run around. I'll cast my vote. I'll cast my vote. How many of y'all voted against Trump and his ass still got in there? And I guarantee you it was an astounding amount of people that voted against Trump. Just like it was an astounding amount of people that voted against Obama. And they still put his ass in there. Just like it was an instangible amount of people who voted against Bush's, Clinton, but they still put their ass in there. Do you know why? Because society has already deemed who's going to be the next president. And I would have to tell you, Obama wasn't the first black president. He really wasn't. Y'all need to check your history. Because Obama was not. You just don't hear about this black man.
And he was black.
And he was black as an ace of damn spades.
There wasn't no question about his black.
None whatsoever. He was black. He was blacker than this. He came out of African trees. Look like they grew him from the roots of Africa. He was black. What was his name? Do you remember?
John Hanson.
Yeah, John Hanson. That's his name. Matter of fact, John Hanson is the one that endorsed George Washington. See, but y'all don't hear nothing about John Hanson.
History gonna say it.
History is not going to tell you that. I had to do some real digging. History is not going to tell you. Let me tell you something. History has hid so much from its people till it's sick. But if you think about the word history, it really means his story, which is whatever story they want to tell your ass.
I want you to think black people have not contributed to anything.
Exactly. We ain't did nothing. They put old funky ass Obama in the White House and y'all go ape shit over him. But what the hell did he do for you? I keep asking this question over and over again. What did funky ass Obama do for you? Now we got, some of y'all just gonna stay dumb for the rest of your life. Sheep. Everybody was so happy when Trump got into the White House. What the hell he doing for you? The first thing this jackass did was talking about, I'm gonna build a wall. That's the first thing this jackass did. The first thing Arnold Schwarzenegger did when he became governor was kill Tookie Williams. Executed that man. This man had done touched so many lives. Wrote so many children's books. Trying to change his life. And old funky ass Arnold Schwarzenegger get his funky ass in the governor seat. Let's go kill I'm sorry. I'll be back. I want to go kill Tookie Williams either Thursday or Friday. He cannot live. Get out of here. I don't like you, Tookie Williams. And he always sound like he trying to take a shit. Y'all, when y'all gonna wake up? When you gonna wake up? You mean, and this is funny, you mean to tell me this America that we living in is so great and we're so reserved and we're so protected? How? When you can take a governor, a man that was a movie star, put him as a governor, and then he go right back to acting. Where they do that at? You got presidents who rub shoulders. This is funny. You know what? You have presidents who invite rappers, singers into the White House, but it's so protected. Isn't there another level or something like that? Basically, what America is showing you, we a joke. Period. We a fucking joke.
That's why it's no longer respected.
That's why nobody no longer respects America. Because people deemed us as a joke. Period. I've never seen a movie star go from being a governor to an actor. Come from being an actor, go to being a governor. After his term, he go back to acting. Because he was acting even in there. Mm-hmm. But y'all run to them damn polls. I got to go cast my vote. For what? You know what? I wish America would do this. With the next election, don't vote. Don't vote. Think about that. When they want another president, just don't vote at all. If your votes counted so much and nobody in America votes, then they shouldn't install a president. I didn't vote for him. But I guarantee you that they will. You know why? Because they already got handpicked who they want to go to the White House. Your votes mean shit. Period. That's why I don't vote. That's why I don't vote. Because what the hell does it mean? It don't mean nothing. They're going to pick and choose who they want to pick and choose, and they'll tell you to your face, fuck you. We don't care. So why haven't any president sat down and said, if this man or this woman has paid their debt to society, when they get out, watch them for a little bit, see if they get into any more trouble. If not, wipe their slate clean. You see, those of us who got on our knees or bowed our head in prayer and repented of our sins, and accepted Jesus Christ as our Lord and personal Savior, see, we were convicted felons.
Mm-hmm.
And we were supposed to have been sentenced to hell.
Come on.
But because of the mercy and the grace of Jesus Christ, he says, I pardon you, I forgive you, and I'm no longer going to have that hovering over your head.
Say it.
Period. Man is the only one who keeps shit dangling over your head.
Yeah.
I think it's a shame that young man don't even have the right to protect his own home. I know what y'all saying. Well, he could have fought him. There was 2 against 1. They could have had 9, whatever it is. That pistol that he had just evened up all those odds.
Yep.
Period. And one of them rascals was evened out more than the other. So I guess what we supposed to do. I guess what a man is supposed to do is if somebody break into his home, he sits up there, well, make sure you get his baby bottle too. I can't do nothing. There's about 5 of them in here, but I'm gonna let you go down and do it. Ooh, did you just rape my wife? Make sure I make a porn video out of that. I want to see that one. There's about 5 or 6 of them in here, everybody. But everybody sit down. I can't handle my business because I'm afraid to go to jail because I can't defend my home. See, this is what the government want anyways. Let me tell you sheep something. The government really wants to make every last one of y'all asses out of convicted felons. That's what they really want. Why? They already trying to take your fucking guns.
Control.
Exactly. What do you do with prisoners behind bars? You control them. So the government already want to turn y'all asses into convicted felons. And they want to start by taking your guns. That's how they want to start it. And turning you into, watch this, they want to stick you in concentration camps. That's like a prison. And you ain't did nothing. Period. The government don't care. Michael Jackson had it right when he said, all I want to say is they don't really care about us. So I'm gonna tell all of the convicted felons, when somebody come inside your home, 3 or 4, maybe 5, maybe 6 of them, just sit there and let them have it. Let them take your child. Let them rape your wife. Let them molest your daughter. Let them do this over here. Let them do that, and you just sit there and you don't say nothing. You better not even pick up a bat. Don't even pick up a knife because you might. Period. It is sad. My name is Maurice Mungen. This has been One Man's Opinion, and I approve this message.